What's up, guys? We're at Timms Harley Davidson today to compare the 2021 Street Glide Special to the 2021 Street Glide Standard and see if the money difference is really worth it. So before we get started, for those that are wondering, the Street Glide Standard is in the River Rock Gray and the Street Glide Special is in the Gauntlet Gray Metallic with the Vivid Black. So that's a good place to start comparing these two bikes because color options do change the price, and since we're trying to see if the extra money for the Street Glide Special is worth it, we'll get into that really quickly. So a Vivid Black Street Glide Standard is going to start at $22,000. That bike is available in 3 color options, and it's going to add $500 if you change the color from black. Moving over to the Street Glide Special, this bike is available in 10 different colors, some of which have the black finish, some of which have the chrome finish, and the price difference will be $500 all the way up to $2,100 if you end up choosing the snake venom color. So there's a lot more choices in the Special, which I think is a point for the Street Glide Special. Now let's cover the biggest difference in my opinion, which is the Street Glide Special coming with the 114 cubic inch Milwaukee 8, whereas the Street Glide Standard comes with the 107 cubic inch Milwaukee 8. Now Harley never really publicly puts out the horsepower numbers, but they do state their torque specs. So on the 107, they have that bike listed at 111 foot-pounds, and on the Special, they have that one listed at 118 foot-pounds. So just based on the torque alone, I think we have to give this to the Special with the 114. And this is really just a personal preference, but for me, my personal preference is the black finish. Again, you can only do that with the Special and the 114. So that's another point for the 114. The next biggest difference is going to be your infotainment. So the Special comes standard with the Boombox GTS system, whereas the Standard comes with the Boombox 4.3. So obvious differences is size, so you get a much smaller screen on the Standard, no touch screen, no navigation, whereas you do have all of those features on this bike. So most dealerships are ordering all of their Standard bikes with the bigger screen. It's $995 to do that upgrade, and I think it's worth every penny. That bigger screen is just way more capable, way nicer to look at, way easier to use. So because it comes as standard equipment on the Special, I think we have to give another point to the Street Glide Special. Now while we're back here talking about this area, the inner fairing of the Special is going to come painted. Now it's never painted to match the bike, although with this bike having black on it, it kind of does tie in and match with it. They're all going to come with that vivid black finish, whereas all of your Standards will just have this matte finish that isn't bad, but the painted inner fairing is just such a premium look and feel. I would definitely give that to the Street Glide Special. Now moving around to the front of these bikes, you may look at the Special and say the headlight's blacked out because the rest of the stuff's blacked out, but you also are getting the Daymaker headlight, which if you want to put that in your Street Glide Standard is going to run you about $500. Not only does it look way better, but it's super bright, which, as you know, when you're on a motorcycle is extremely important. So one more point for the Street Glide Special. Also on the front of these bikes, you'll notice 2 very different wheels. Your Street Glide Standard comes with the Enforcer 2, which is not a terrible looking wheel, but it's also not the best one I've ever seen. I see a lot of guys powder coat these just to save a little bit of money, and in my opinion, that does look a little bit better. But over here on the Street Glide Special, you did get the Prodigy wheel. Now this one is painted all black. Some of them have a machined finish here on these spokes, but this is a much better looking wheel. It's a lot more low profile with the spokes. I'm not big on spending money to change the wheels on my bikes, so getting a bike with a wheel I actually like from the factory is a pretty big deal. So yet again, we're going to give this point to the Street Glide Special. Now if we move to the back of these bikes, you'll see on the Street Glide Standard that you do get the same saddlebags that they've been doing on the touring bikes for a good while now, whereas on the Special they've gone to a stretched bag. Doesn't really give you any more room. I mean, a tiny bit, but not even worth mentioning. It's more of a styling thing. So from the side view, kind of dips down just a little bit there in the back, as well as has a little cutout for your exhaust there, whereas the standard doesn't. Now, I know most people probably do prefer these stretch bags, but I'm not one of them. I like the regular bags a little bit more, so we finally get to give a point to the Street Glide Standard, at least in my personal opinion, although I know most people will disagree with that. One of the changes that Harley brought to the Street Glide Special for this year was this new redesigned console. Looks very similar to what they typically do on the CVO. You can see from the side, much lower profile, very clean and simple. One of the ways they were able to do this is by moving the gas cap over to the side of the tank. I like that look. Some guys don't like that it's not symmetrical. Usually if there's a cap on the other side here, it's just for a fuel gauge. You've got that, and a digital readout tells you your mile's still empty. So I would rather not have the cap. So that way you could go with a flush mount gas cap right here and really clean this bike up. From the top view, you would still have, obviously a black area, but from the side view, it would be sleek, and I think this bike would look really good with that. And then from the side, you can see all the way up until where the gas cap's actually hidden. It is pretty low profile from the side, so it's not like it's too big or bulky. I don't really mind that look. I just think that one looks a whole lot better. So if you get the Street Glide Special and you choose the chrome finish option, this doesn't really apply, but if you choose the black finish option, you'll see that your lowers on your forks here are black to match, which really does a lot for the front of this bike, whereas your chrome finish in the Special, as well as all the finishes which do come in chrome on standard on this one, have your normal Harley fork lowers that to me just really don't look that good. They either need to be black or chrome or some color that's going to accent your bike. So I just think it stands out against all the chrome there. So guys, like we talked about in the beginning of the video, there are a lot of color options for the Street Glide Special, which can really change the price. But if you were to compare a vivid black Street Glide Special to a vivid black Street Glide Standard, you would be at $5,100 difference. And to me, I could easily justify that just off of the motor and the bigger infotainment system, not to mention all the other things we talked about. So for me personally, yes, the Street Glide Special is worth the extra money. But I am curious to know what you guys think, so leave me a comment down below. Let me know which one you would pick and why. And as always, thanks for watching.